right, next one. The main event. Right there, same card, DAZN, Golden Boy, Indio, California. We just talked about 112-pound ladies. Well, the guys, 105-pounders, Oscar Collazo and Jayson Vayson. This was the WBO World Minimum title. It was on the line. And it wouldn't be a weekend of boxing.
I don't like that name. I'm sorry, I don't. There's nothing minimal about my business, about our business, about the sweet side, about climbing in that ring. There's nothing minimal. Call it something else. I don't know. Call it something else. Air weight, paperweight. I don't know. I'm not saying that. But I would give me 5 minutes. I'd come up with a better name than minimum. Please.
Yeah, we have the flies, we have the bantams, obviously bigger at 126, the feathers. Maybe we could think and we'll brainstorm. Let us get some comments in there. What should be the 105 weight class be called if we're going to change it from the minimum? But I mean, it wouldn't be a weekend of boxing without some controversy, right? And we got plenty of it in this. I'm sitting there watching the fight last night, and Collazo started off. He was scored a knockdown. He was credited for earlier in the fight. Wasn't the cleanest punch, but he was awarded the knockdown. And then Vayson starts coming on. He starts to land some nice body shots. He hurt Collazo. Started to make it a very interesting fight. Now, my broadcast went out on DAZN for about a round or so, so I'm not sure what happened in between there. But when I got back, it continued to be that close fight. And very much so to the point, Bud, that I was ready to go check what's the live line on this. Collazo was minus 1,500 coming in. Monster favorite. And he was starting to have a rough time, where it felt like Vayson might be worth a little play and some small odds off of the action I was watching. And then out of nowhere, I thought the referee stopped the fight, but he didn't. The corner stops the fight. And you text me perfectly, Bud. And I couldn't agree more and think of anything else. It's incompetence or it's corruption. And I don't know how somebody could be that incompetent. We're talking about a world title fight. We're talking about this kid's first trip to America. Everything he's worked for his whole life, and he's in it. To get that taken away from him by his own handlers and own supporters? Or was it corruption? Because it felt like it could have been. The whole thing didn't make sense. It was beyond bizarre. Just want to hear your take, your thoughts on this.
Yeah, first of all, we have no idea. We don't know. So let's make that real clear. We don't know. But we can guess, we can conjecture, we can, look at things. That's our job. Just like you guys look at it. We could, try to come up with some kind of sensible thoughts of what the possibilities could be. And at the end of the day, we don't know. Only they know. Maybe the corner guy loves this kid like a son. And maybe he's not that experienced in boxing. And maybe he just panicked. Maybe he loves the kid so much that he just panicked. He said, no, I'm not letting him go. The fight had swayed. The tide had turned towards the champion, Collazo. There's no doubt about it. He started landing a little more. He started landing to the body. He started putting him up against the ropes. It started to become a little bit of one-way traffic in that round. But before that, it was everything my son said, and you guys saw. He hurt him to the body. He hurt Collazo to the body. He was, he was alive in there. He looked like he had found a mark for the uppercut. He looked like a guy that, at any moment it could turn his way again, because he landed a couple shots, good shots, clean shots, that gave you that way of hoping or thinking that, hey, he's in this fight. This could be interesting. And then all of a sudden, he's having that one good round, starting to dominate a little bit, but nothing huge, nothing we haven't seen before, and nothing that you're not asked to overcome in a title fight. That's what a title fight's about. I don't care what you do in life, whatever your title fight is, whatever your moment, you're going to have to overcome something to get there. There's something that's going to give resistance, that is going to make you take a deep breath, dig down, remember why you're doing this, and go get it done. Find a way. And that's just the way it is. That's the way the fight of life is. And so that moment was no more extraordinary than any other moment we've seen in so many fights and title fights with guys trying to grab that belt. Where all of a sudden, okay, here's the round. Here it is. All right, let's see how he behaves. Not how he fights, how he behaves. How many times have you heard me say that? Let's see how he behaves now. Let's see if he gets through this. Let's see if he gets through this. Maybe he turns it to his fight now. He says, okay, now, I know I can do this. But he never got a chance to get through it. He never got. Now, his body language didn't look great. And listen, he acted kind of strange the way he wasn't upset afterwards. Maybe he's got such a close, son-father relationship with the trainer that he didn't want to say anything disparaging about him because he figured he's looking out for me. All right, I could buy it. I could buy that.
And maybe like the Japanese background and culture and upbringing, he's Filipino. Maybe there's just something there where he's just respectful that way.
100%. 100%. But it was strange. It did make you do this. For those of you that don't have the visual, I'm scratching my head. It made you say, what the heck? He was just having a moment that we all have if we want to accomplish something big. Give him a chance to have that moment. Give him a chance to show you what's in him, what he can do with that moment. And again, his body language was not great, but maybe he gets past it. How many fights we never would be talking about? History would have been changed if they had been stopped at the point when the guy wasn't doing well. Oh my goodness. But can you think of how many champs wouldn't have been champs and how many fights that became iconic fights wouldn't have became iconic fights if the corner had stopped it when he was going through a bad patch? That's what it was. That's the way I saw it. Anyway, I think I broke it down the best I can. I think you did too. That's the best I could give you.
No, that was the best you could say it. That was perfect. You always say that it's not a fight until there's something to overcome. Otherwise, it's just an exhibition. They never gave him that chance to overcome. They took that away from him. And it was beyond bizarre. We were all stumped. The commentators as well. And I'll finish with this, but it cracked me up a little bit. But when you're watching the post-fight interview for Vayson and they're trying to make sense of what just happened, I'm sitting there and saying, is that the trainer who stopped the fight who's now translating? Didn't it seem that way? He was wearing the jumpsuit.
It looked like it was him. And I think the commentator even said it. Why are you asking him? That's like asking a bank robber, which way did they go? I mean, yeah. Really, you're not going to ask the bank robber where'd the getaway go? It went that way. But wait a minute. There's that road only goes about 100 feet and then it hits a wall. No, they went that way. I'm sure of it. But listen, I the whole thing was strange. You're right. They're asking the trainer who stopped it, who would give he'd given a reason that would obviously, obviously he doesn't want to be looked at in a bad light. So whatever he's saying, when you don't want him translating for the fighter because you don't know exactly what's going to be told from him because his side of the story, you would think he would want to defend what happened.